Hi, welcome everyone. This is another episode of our HeartPowered inspiring interview series. And oh my God, I have such an incredible lady with me today. You're going to fall in love with her right away, as I did when I met her for the first time. She is just really the embodiment of a big heart and love. And she's one of the smartest businesswomen I've ever met.
Oh,
So, who is with us today? Her name is Fabienne Fredrickson, and she's been a friend and a mentor for quite a few years for me, and she is really an advocate for women that want to make their own money and be independent and free and live a fulfilled life. And her passion and purpose is really being a catalyst for self-employed women to make the greatest impact they can while being handsomely rewarded for it. And she hasn't been doing that since yesterday. She's been doing it for more than 20 years. And she has been and continues to be an inspiration to many, a business mentor to really tens of thousands of women, business owners all over the world. She's the founder of Boldheart. What a promise that her business name is in itself already. And she's been doing that for 2 decades, and helped people make tens of millions of dollars. And she has created a model that predictably gets entrepreneurs from 5 to 6 to 7 figures eventually, while gaining them their time back. And that's what we all want, right? And she's also saying she's kind of the ambassador for self-worth, and she's saying that she really, and I see her doing that every single day, she sprinkles self-worth teachings on top of all of her business teachings, as if someone would spread their fairy dust, right? So she's that and so much more. Well, Fabienne, it's amazing to have you with us today.
it's so great to be with you. What nice words you said.
And with all you do, obviously you're also such a role model and leader on helping people to really go through these challenging times right now. And what are you personally doing? And I know we only have a few minutes, but what are what are some of the things you do to keep you vibrant and joyful and in the vortex at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's really important to look at life not as if something's out of our control, but rather in our control. Everything is in our control in terms of how we react to whatever situation is going on. So I know that a lot of people are panicking and worrying and in fear, but I choose the opposite. I choose to pivot and really be in control of my situation. So part of that is really looking at how can I boost my immunity in times like this by um, by having high quality foods, superfoods, anything that's super healthy instead of what some people are running to, processed foods and convenient foods. So why that puts me in the vortex is that I feel that I'm in control. I feel that I can control a little bit more the health and well-being of my family and of course myself. So I'm doing that with my food, but I'm also controlling my mindset. I'm controlling the kind of information that comes into my life. I'm controlling whether it's positive and loving for me, or if it's like lighter fuel. If this is going to put me in fear and rage and worry, then I'm not consuming it. So that has to do with people, that has to do with things I read on the internet. Absolutely no news. Like I've not turned on the news in a week and a half, and just really kind of working on my mindset in that way.
Amazing. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that see it as a challenging time. But you and I, we both know that, yes, of course, there is a lot of tragedy happening, and we hold people in our heart that are directly affected. And still, at the same time, it's as you know, and as you're saying yourself, it's a time of great opportunity,
Yeah.
opening so many doors, really bringing our life and our business again and our soul with it to another level. So what are some of the things you do in concrete terms to really turn these challenges into the greatest opportunity for your business, your life at the moment?
Well, I'm choosing to look at this as this situation as that it's not happening to us, that it's happening for us. And I have this positivity gene that isn't disingenuous. It's not fake. It's literally how I look at life. And I'm looking at this as, what if this were one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, to my family, to my business? I'm choosing to look not just for the silver lining, but what is the thing that's trying to come through me and through my business through this time of, I'm not going to call it a crisis, this time of reset. And as you know, I have several hundred clients and members and thousands of customers who work with me each year. I have an event with several hundred people that was going to happen in May in London, and I'm basically moving. I was already online, but now I'm moving everything online. The mindset retreat is happening online. My client meetings are happening online. We've created the conscious engagement online methodology where people can really connect heart to heart, and you've experienced it. And I'm looking at this I'm sharing this with many of our members. This is a time of opportunity. This is a time where you get to pivot your marketing to be more relevant, pivot your business model to be more relevant. So for some people, it could be moving things online, and therefore keeping a lot of their money. A lot of times people have high expenses because they do things in person. It could be creating new product lines, new services, a new niche in the marketplace that no one is doing. I ask people to take care of their mindset first, to squash the fear, because when you're in a fearful place, you can't sift through everything that's not going well to look for the opportunities. But when you can stay in faith and eliminate the negativity, you can then, with your how do you say this, with your magnifying glass, be like a detective and look for the business model, look at the marketing, look in this time that we have. A lot of people are looking at this period of time of in a freaking out pattern, like, oh my God, I can't work with my clients. But this could also be a time that you use to work on those exponential growth activities, to work on the projects, the book, the new website. This will only last for a few more weeks, in my estimation. And we have a great opportunity to use this time for things that we could never really normally squeeze in between client appointments. So, I mean, I'm happy to get more concrete than that if you wish, but that is the big pivot for most people, is to look at, how could this be the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my business?
Yeah, I love it. And you're just igniting everyone, encouraging and, empowering everyone around you to, to turn it into an opportunity. I know, Fabienne, I'd love you to actually give even more encouragement, because you and I, we have been running our business always for quite a long time. In my live meetings, but at the same time keeping people connected in between online, right? So it's been always a hybrid. Now it's going even more online, as you said, right? And of course, at the beginning we don't know, will that work, right? I mean, if you run half a day, 1 day, 2 day meetings, even like what you're doing, and now even a several day meeting, in May, online, you know what were your experiences from the last couple of weeks? And I know it's been mind-blowing to see what's possible online. Would you like to give a little more encouragement to everyone that's with us here right now, that's still in doubt and fear? Will that work online? Maybe give some suggestions as well of what did you do to make it work online,
Yeah,
so
I'd
that
be happy
everyone
to.
that is with us right now is stepping up.
Yeah, be happy to. So I know that some people are canceling even half-day events because they imagine that people can't sit staring at a screen for 3 hours. I have been successfully, I have successfully done a 2-day event online for the first time ever that were 9+ hours each day, with everybody being fully engaged. And I'll share with you exactly how I did it. Being fully engaged, being fully present, always having their video on, and literally being as if they were in the room with us. And the way I mentioned how I did it just a few moments ago, it's called a methodology that I created over the last few months called the Conscious Engagement Online, CEO, Conscious Engagement Online. And this is basically how do we connect online to be as not to keep using the same word again, but as engaging and as um, uh, all consuming in the best possible way, even more so than if we were in person together. So part of it, you've seen me just do it right now. A lot of people are doing online like this. But what happens, even if I'm just, let's say, 3 feet from the camera that's right here, it's not, you can't see my eyes. And what I've been sharing with all of our clients, and you've seen me do this a lot, is when I'm doing a Q&A, I'll go like this, and it seems a little intrusive, but there's a way that when we get close like that, it's much more engaging. Mm. Another thing that I recommend to make even a 9.5-hour day really where people are absorbed and don't want to leave is that you look in the camera. You don't, if you're going to look at Zoom, you don't look at the, if you've got a tile of people on Zoom, try not to look like down here. You do whatever you can to look right at the camera. So I really spend my days looking at the green top at the green light at the top of my laptop, because it's a little bit more uncomfortable, and I'll look down at you and then I'll look up. But what it does is it really brings the intimacy to a group of people. There is the idea of giving visual connection. So thumbs up, we do a golf clap, like everybody give Monique a hand, she did such a great job, right? And just like, Monique, high five, and sending hearts. And that's part of my brand. Like, listen, not everybody has that exuberant enthusiastic love and encouragement that I do in my brand at Boldheart. But what it does is people feel seen, and they don't want to be caught looking at, sending text messages or doing emails, So if you can call out on people and say, hey, Monique, you were doing something and you did such a great job with that thing. Would you share it with everybody else? It keeps everybody alert in a great way. The breakout rooms in Zoom are really great for that. So is having people put things in the chat, and dance breaks, stretch breaks. Yeah, I mean, literally during the 9.5 hour meetings, we put music on and everybody just stood up from their computers. I was right there, and we played Happy by Pharrell, and we were all dancing. And what it does, and also just being able to like really be there for people like this, even though that's not something we typically do, or when you're listening, going like that. It's also about asking the members to meet you halfway. I really set an intention to wow them, 28 people over 2 full days. And now we have several hundred people coming to the Mindset Retreat in May online. And I'm going to wow them. I'm going to bring everything that I've learned over my last 20 years of creating tribes, really close communities. I'm going to bring it online. But even if I do everything, if the person comes and doesn't take it seriously, if they've got their video off, if they're checking their email during the whole time, if they're not participating, when I put them in a breakout room, they won't know what the topic is. They'll have the kids and cats crawling all over them. So part of conscious engagement online is to create a culture of personal responsibility. You know, you paid for the 3-day event. You want to get the content. You've carved out these 3 days. You got to show up as if we were in the room. So no eating, no talking on the phone, no texting, all that good stuff. And when your intention to wow and to be really present matches their personal responsibility and showing up 100% engaged, you have a winning formula.
That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you for all these golden nuggets, Fabienne. It's so true. And everything starts with intention. And then also it's important, you know, from experience, what are the rules, and announce them at the beginning and get everyone not only to say yes to them, but get excited to actually play in this way together, right? Beautiful. So you and I could keep talking forever, right? But what is just to really also help everyone that is here with us today, to give them a concrete hint and tip. What is one thing you advise them to do right now to really turn the current challenges into their greatest opportunity? What's one thing they could be doing right now, and that we invite them and, you know, strongly recommend them to actually take that one action today to turn it into an opportunity?
You know, there's a lot of people that are in lockdown. Most of us at this point, I don't choose to look at it as lockdown. I choose to look at it as huddling with my family or cocooning. I'm always looking for the positive. So one of the things that we do as a family now at every meal, because now we have lunch and dinner together, sit down lunch, sit down dinner, is we go around and each one of us says 5 things. So there's 5 of us. So 5 times 5 is 25, just so we do the basic math. 5 things that we're grateful for about our cocooning situation. And that means that 25 pieces of gratitude are being focused on during lunch and during dinner when we're together as a family. But you can also do this every day for your business, where you have a sheet of paper on your desk, and what are 5 things that are actually benefiting my business from this interesting time. And most people will say, there's nothing is good about this, but that's not actually true. On every cloud, there is a golden lining, not just a silver lining. So if you look for it, you can, what it does is it triggers the reticular activating system of the brain, where when it is posed a question or an assignment, 5 things, it's going to want to look for all 5. And so asking yourself what is beneficial about this, you'll come up with it, and then it'll put you in a more optimistic, hopeful place. And from that optimistic, hopeful place, you can see the opportunities and you can begin to pivot quickly.
Yeah, it's
As we
a
have.
beautiful suggestion. And again, it's all about gratitude, right? And again, as we said earlier, higher frequency, right, will keep our immune system stronger and make us feel amazing. And again, when we also say and state, and even in writing, what we are grateful for, what's been good, we're showered with more of that. It's amazing, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, great. I'm sure that there's quite a few with us right here, right now, that would love to connect with you, want to know who is Fabienne, what's this Boldheart magic about, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me at boldheart.com or on any of the social platforms as Fabienne or Fabienne Fred. And this is a resource I'd like to offer. I just did a 2-hour training called Pivot Your Business. And it is no charge. It's really everything that I'm sharing and more here. I shared this in 15 minutes and I stretched out and put in so many resources and cheat sheets and things like that in this training called Pivot Your Business. You can find it at the Boldheart Facebook group. So just do a search for Boldheart Facebook group and ask to join, and then you will have the training pinned at the top and you can watch it free of charge. No catch, no sell, no nothing, just pure gold. It's my gift.
Right, thank you. That's such a generous and very important gift, and I've seen some of these resources. They're really amazing. So thank you, Fabienne, for being with us today, for generously sharing your insights, your shower of positivity and opportunity. And it's been really great to have you with us. And all of you, it's great that you're checking in, that you are actually saying, I'm ready to get some positivity and some inspiration and some concrete advice. And that's what you get every single time when you check in with us on our heart-powered inspirational interviews. It's wonderful to have you, Fabienne. It's wonderful to have all of you. We'll be back very soon with another episode. And thank you, Fabienne, for being on.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.